It is absolutely wonderful to be back. In 1971, we decided to bring women's basketball back to then Delta State College. The very young president of the student body, who's now president of our university, and the very young executive assistant to the president, who later became the longest-serving president of this university, both agreed with that plan. When you have that kind of support, you move on. I went to Jeff White, who was chair of the Division of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation, and I asked him if we had someone on our faculty who could coach women's basketball. He immediately said, "Oh, Miss Wade can do it." She was an outstanding coach at Cleveland High School. Then I said, "Well, now, if we were to start women's tennis, do you have someone who could coach it?" Immediately he said, "Yes, Miss Wade." Then I asked him, I said, "Do we have someone who could coach women's track?" And immediately he said, "Oh, Miss Wade can do it. She did that in high school." So I learned that we had a woman's athletic department in one person, Margaret Wade. I went to Miss Wade and told her about the plans to bring women's basketball back and that I wanted her to be the head women's coach. Now, she was hesitant. I might even say reluctant. She began to talk like this: "I don't know if I can do that. It's been so long since I coached, and I don't know if I can coach college girls. I'm going to have to really think about this." Well, she finally agreed. The next year was spent recruiting. Melvin Hemphill, director of admissions, must be remembered for his vital role in helping to identify outstanding players and helping to recruit them to Delta State. Recently, I reviewed the Delta State budgets during those early years. Margaret Wade's job description was never changed from assistant professor in physical education, even after she had won a national championship. We ought to be ashamed of ourselves for not having done that. But I can report this, that her salary changed, and it was higher than the men's basketball coach's salary. Something you never see today. One of Margaret Wade's concerns was whether she could relate to athletes of color. She had never coached an integrated team. Over the Christmas holidays that first year, she came to Whitfield Gym, where my family was playing basketball. And with tears in her eyes, she showed me a letter she had just received from one of her players who was an African American and who became the absolutely best female basketball player ever to play the game. And you know that I'm talking about Lucy Harris. In Lucy's letter to Margaret, she thanked her for the kindness and for the acceptance which Coach Wade had extended to her during that first semester. Need we say more about Coach Wade's ability to coach all of the players? Horace McCool, head football coach and athletic director, really supported Margaret Wade, and he went with us to that first national tournament in Harrisonburg, Virginia, when we won the first national championship. As the tournament progressed, it was clear that Delta State would play in the championship game against the formidable Immaculata. Someone suggested to Coach McCool, as we approached the championship game, that we needed a telegram from the governor to show the team that the whole state of Mississippi was behind us. Contact was made with the governor's office, and assurance was given that a telegram would be sent, but it was not forthcoming. Well, again, Coach McCool was told that we needed a telegram from the governor. Well, pretty soon, a superbly worded telegram came in from the governor's office. We were so happy to get it, and we put it up on the bulletin board. But in no time at all, another telegram came from the governor's office. And it was at this point that Coach McCoo confessed to me that he had sent the first telegram, which was much better than the second one. So we kept the first one up on the bulletin board. It is an amazing story how an assistant professor of physical education would leave the comfort and the security of her professorship and run the risk of damaging what you all know to be an outstanding and successful high school coaching record by entering the competitive and the uncertain life of college coaching. We place this statue here today so that untold generations will know that Lily Margaret Wade not only demonstrated that she could be a very successful women's college basketball coach, but she also proved that she was absolutely the best.
Let's